Well, good evening and welcome. Chris Chandler here along with Skip Copeland, and we are about 2.5 minutes away from the tip-off of this regional championship game between Pregame Lady Savages, Fort Gibson Lady Tigers, and it should be a great one. A couple of teams coming in with great records, great expectations, and should be a lot of exciting basketball. Excuse me. Again, thanks to all our sponsors and media partners. Going to have a couple of words from them, and then we'll be back with the tip-off and introductions of our starting lineups. You're watching Pregame Lady Savage basketball on the Pregame Savages YouTube channel.
At McCurtain County National Bank, we are continually seeking ways to meet the changing needs of our customers. We offer a full range of services such as free checking, online and mobile banking, as well as great rates on cabin and construction loans. We're providing results through better service while giving you a greater value for your dollar. Visit us on the web at mcnbonline.com. McCurtain County National Bank in Idabel, Broken Bow, Hochatown, and Valiant.
Call Jennifer Broaddus, State Farm agent in Broken Bow today.
We all have stories. Stories inspired by culture, competition, creativity. Stories show our humanity. They inspire us to greatness and remind us to be humble. Stories connect us to our communities and the rest of the world. We are the Chata people, and these are our stories. See and share them at togetherwe'remore.com.
Hey Southeast Oklahoma, have you been to Washburn's in Broken Bow yet? Furniture, appliances, hot tubs, outdoor furniture, pool tables, and more. Lightning fast delivery across McCurtain County. Visit 663 South Park Drive or call 580-441-7025. Washburn's, family owned since 1939.
To see Choctaw people on screen, I realized I could be a filmmaker if I wanted to.
See and share our stories at togetherwe'remore.com.
Experience the charm of downtown Broken Bow and discover a wide variety of newly opened shops, tantalizing dining experiences, and an inviting lounge waiting to be explored. Whether you're shopping for unique finds, getting in a quick workout or sauna, or soaking in the lively atmosphere with some ice cream, our downtown area has everything you crave, completely revitalized. Embrace the excitement and let the heart of the community sweep you off your feet. Visit us today and ignite your senses in downtown Broken Bow.
Life insurance that meets your needs now for when they need it most. With help from your State Farm agent.
Call Jennifer Broaddus, State Farm agent in Broken Bow today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote today.
Hey, welcome back, and just presented the national anthem and the announcement of the starting lineups. Pregame Lady Savages are the visiting team tonight, so they will be introduced first. Genesis Smith, Tyson Woolsey, Jalen Cawthron, the leading scorer for the Lady Savages, Aubrey Hightower, one of the two seniors, and Katie Rogers, the other senior on this team. The only two seniors on the team, both starters, and looking to extend their careers as Lady Savages. As you see them at center court, they seem pumped. They seem like they have a lot of energy and enthusiasm. Of course, at this point, you have to. We'll mention that the team they're taking on is very talented and has some young, has a couple of freshmen, but Avery Skaggs, who is number 3 on the Fort Gibson roster, one of their freshmen, is the team leader. dynamic player and very promising to their fans for the future of their basketball program. We'll also mention them and talk about their program. This is a Fort Gibson, a basketball program that has won 4 state championships, all in the last 15 years. 2011, they went back-to-back in 2013 and 14, and their last state championship, all in Class 4A, was in 2018. They want to continue that here. You see the height comparison, pretty equal in all the aspects of this. And at this level, this is a regional championship. So both these teams will go to the area tournament, but the bracketing is very different. The winner tonight will only have to win 1 game to go to the state tournament, 1 of 2. And then the loser will have to win 3 in a row. It's Smith, nice job on the tip. Once it hit the floor, controlled by Smith. Cawthron for 3. Off the mark, fight for the rebound. Smith has a hand on it. Now it's fought for by, I believe, Ragsdale. A foul called on the rebound, and so that's going to be the first team foul of the game. That's going to be against the Lady Savages, a pushing foul called, and that's going to go, I believe, against Katie Rogers. That's her first, obviously. So Rogers with 1. As you see, that's Wofford bringing it up. 3-point shot on the way. High rebound hits the top of the rim, and then there's nobody there except for Woolsey and Cawthron for Broken Bow. Lady Savages control. Going back the other way. Outside to Rogers. Pass over top of the key, and then to the side. Smith for 3. Long rebound to the other side. Pulled down by Price. And it is Lady Tigers on the move. Down to Wofford in the corner. Moving around. Smith defending that. Cut off the lane. Picks up her dribble. Bounce pass to Skaggs. Fade away shot. Unkind rim, kicks it out. Cawthron with the rebound. Still scoreless in the first minute. 6:57 and ticking. There's Rogers, another unkind rim. Rogers' shot goes in and out. Pinballs around, throws it out. There's a pass down low, and then that's a good defense, as just lost her balance between 2 defenders. Lady Savages create the turnover and get to go back the other way. Both these teams have extremely efficient offenses. Just they also have very good defenses, and so still scoreless here. Minute and a half into the game. Cawthron looking to change that. Oh, great pass down low from Cawthron. Double team inside keeps Smith from getting loose, though, and then it's a steal. A 1-on-2 break. Cawthron back defensively for Broken Bow, and Cawthron draws the charge. Great job, Jalen Cawthron, sprinting back, getting set up, drawing the charge. Excellent play by the leader on the Savage offense. So that's going to be the first team foul against Fort Gibson, 1 and 1 for the 2 teams. They are tied even with 1 team foul each. Still scoreless, 6:24 and ticking. Again, thanks to these sponsors you see in the lower part of your screen. Make sure and thank them personally. Here's Rogers passing it outside. It's going to be a sprint. That's going to be a backcourt violation. And so the ball's turned over back to Fort Gibson. Lady Savages and Lady Tigers still looking for their first points. Long, little bit of a pause on the inbound. And then it's controlled by Skaggs. Guarded by Smith inside, and Woolsey defensively, good job. Shots off the mark, goes to the floor. Hey, it was a great effort by Fort Gibson. And then there's a foul against Woolsey. Pushing against Wofford under the net. Sorry, pushing against Price under the net. That'll send Price to the free throw line to shoot 2. Second team foul versus the Savages, first on Woolsey. Shots up through the net, and the scoring ice is broken for Fort Gibson by Price. Second shot on the way. Also good. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. 2-0 is the score. For Gibson on the board first. Pass outside, Cawthron for 3. Oh, just does not row. Oh, great rebound by Woolsey. Tips it to her Steph, goes to the ground. Gets rolled over, ball goes out of bounds, and that'll be Fort Gibson basketball. Driving down. Long pass. The other side, and wow, great effort. As Smith goes airborne, gets a fingertip on it, knocks it out of bounds. Ball will be inbounded by the Lady Tigers under the net. Still 2-0 advantage for Gibson. Long pass out to the side. Oh, that's a wide open look for Price, and doesn't deliver, however. And then it's Cawthron with the attempted save. Got a toe in the line, and so that'll be out on Brokebo again. Early goings of this game, and maybe something you wouldn't expect. At 5:21, so over 2.5 minutes in the game, and just one, actually not even a field goal. 2 free throws by Price. The only score thus far. Here comes, I believe that's Ragsdale running, or actually rotating around into Price. Price going up off the glass and in. First field goal. Amelia Price for the Tigers. They now lead 4-0. 3-point shot by Hightower with the answer. Audrey Hightower. Lady Savages on the board with the tray. Presses on in the backcourt now. Almost stolen, and there's contact. That's going to be, wow, that's going to be the second on Katie Rogers, and usually plays very clean, does not accumulate fouls. So she has 2 fouls, and still early in the first half. Lady Savages drop back to half court with the press to Skaggs. Back to Price, back to 3-point shot on the way. It's going to be in. Open look. Yeah, the answer by Ragsdale. 7-3. Pass out to the corner. It's going to be Smith for 3. Does not fall. Fight for the rebound. Goes out off of Price, and that'll be Lady Savages basketball. Looking to rotate it around on the inbound. Long inbound all the way to Smith outside the 3-point arc. Smith drives in, turns around, gets it to Cawthron. Cawthron for 3. Jalen Cawthron for 3. Her first bucket of the game. Lady Savages 6. 1-point game, presses on. Inbound to Skaggs, working against Smith. And Hightower. Hightower back there. Now back to Skaggs. Skaggs across into the forecourt. Price down low in the corner, then back out. It's going to be Skaggs for 3. Her ball goes off the glass, off the rim, into the hands of Cawthron. Cawthron pushing it up the floor. Cawthron accelerating and gets called for the double dribble, going back the other way. What if Fort Gibson's players got a hand in there as Cawthron was entering the paint, disrupted it, got enough a hand on the ball to change the rhythm. So they get the ball back. And the press is on. Long pass across the half-court line. Skaggs is stolen. Genesis Smith playing defensive back. Went sky. Great effort. Oh, a great pass down low. Kicks it outside. 3-point shot on the way. A little bit over. Actually, a lot over. And then there is going to be a foul called on Woolsey. I don't know about that one. Looked like they were both just pursuing the basketball, and Woolsey got flagged for it. So that's going to be the 4th team foul on the Lady Savages. Still 3:23 left. That's our second one on Woolsey, by the way. Presses on in the backcourt. There's a pass across into the forecourt to Ragsdale, then out to Price on the wing, and then back inside. Price working in the paint, looking. Price goes up. Woolsey tips it. Out to Griffin. Lady Savages control. Pass to Hightower. Hightower to Smith. Smith into Woolsey. Woolsey turns around, jumps. Gets it to fall. Tyson Woolsey, her first field goal of the game. Lady Savages with her first lead of the game. 8-7, 2:43 left, first period. Ragsdale to Price. Price looking to go down the lane, then kicks it out. Oh, just an easy jump shot. Or not easy, but an uncontested jump shot. Ball gets knocked out by, I believe, Ragsdale, and so that'll go back the other way. Brokebo will inbound. Cawthron to do the honors. Inbound to Hightower. Hightower shovels it. Oh, nice pass from Cawthron to Woolsey. Shot does not fall. And a foul called on the rebound against Woolsey. That's her third. That is going to be the 15th foul on Broken Bow, so the rest of the first period, Fort Gibson will play in the bonus. So Woolsey will come take a seat with 3 fouls. As Toby Bean gesticulates to the official, arguing the call. Yeah, I won't say I've never seen an official reverse a call on an argument, but as he's at the scoring table talking, again, he's indicating possibly how many fouls it is. I think there's a discrepancy as to either the number of fouls or the number of fouls on Woolsey. And I think the discussion is whether they go shoot a free throw, because that does put them in the bonus, but the foul was in the other end of the court.
The book has 4.
The book has 4 fouls. And so well, I do too. I have 3 against Woolsey, 2 against Rogers. That's it, right? 2-2?
3.
Is that the third one on Woolsey?
That's the third on Woolsey.
All right. Well, then it is 5. It would be the 5th foul called, because Rogers had 2 called early. So the official scores. That's quite a controversy. You know what? We're going to take a quick break. Have a word from one of our sponsors. Be right back. You're watching Broken Bow Lady Savage basketball on the Broken Bow Savages YouTube channel.
To see Choctaw people on screen, I realized I could be a filmmaker if I wanted to.
See and share our stories at togetherwe'remore.com.
Welcome back. Again, thanks to the Choctaw Nation Together We're More program, along with all our other media partners. Appreciate them sponsoring these athletic events and letting you watch these from the comfort of your home or the convenience of your phone anytime on the Broken Bow Savages YouTube channel. First free throw off the front of the rim, no good. That was indeed the 3rd foul on Woolsey and the 15th foul, though, once they worked things out. And second shot also no good. Rebound, toss-up, call it Cawthron or Rogers. Katie Rogers moving with the basketball. Bounce pass to Cawthron. Cawthron outside. Working it back in. And now it's Smith. Smith to Hightower. Hightower for 3, a little bit off. Hits the bracket, and that's an easy rebound for Price. Going the other way, it's going to be Ragsdale. And it looked like that was a great effort at stealing it by Cawthron, and she is talented at doing that. Kind of standing almost flat-footed, but really on her toes, and once the ball is released, goes toward the direction it's going to be thrown, picks it off, and has a fast break point. Let's see how Fort Gibson reacts with Tyson Woolsey officially, in the penalty box, for lack of a better word. She has 3 fouls, 3-second violation, and so Lady Savage defense creates a turnover. Here comes Cawthron. Down to the corner, 3-point shot on the way. Hightower off the, nice rebound by Cawthron, goes back under and lays it in. Jalen Cawthron, her second field goal. First one was for 3, second one for 2. Lady Savages up 10-7. Pass down in the corner to Ragsdale. And back outside to Wofford. For Gibson, now Skaggs tried to move inside. Good job by Griffin of moving defensively, preventing the baseline move. Now it's a good look for Skaggs. Skaggs shot's a little over, though. Ragsdale with the rebound. Now a wide open look for Wofford. That one goes off, another offensive board, and there's an elbow. That's a point, and the Savage, Toby Bean indicating that she threw an elbow to make room for herself, but the shot does count. Now it's a 1-point game. Last 40 seconds. Here's Smith for 3. Oh, off the glass, but good. That's actually Hightower for a tray. That's her second of the game. Lady Savage is up 13-9 in the press across to Ragsdale. Ragsdale thought about pulling up, then Cawthron came from the backside to Wofford, to Ragsdale, to Wofford, and then to Price. Price against Griffin off the front. Griffin might have got a hand on that, and then and Toby Bean asking for a foul against Hightower as Skaggs made contact. She goes up and under and draws the foul from Price, and that will send Hightower to the free throw line. That's going to be the first one, I believe, on Price. It is indeed. Second team foul against Fort Gibson, but those will be erased. And first free throw's up and good for Hightower. Those will be erased in 7.1 seconds to the relief of Broken Bow, who has 5, putting Fort Gibson in the bonus. Lady Savage up 14-9. And Hightower can make it 15 as she adjusts her uniform. By the way, Burris in for the Lady Savages as well. Second one rattles around, and then the rebound as, oh no, as that looked like Cawthron. Looked like she had the rebound, and she went crashing to the floor. She gets whistled for the foul, her first. There's a reach in by Cawthron. Doesn't quite get contact with the basketball. There, Skaggs does not get the ball off in time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fall. And that's going to do it. After one period of play, Lady Savages lead 14-9. We'll have messages for our sponsors. Be right back. You're watching Broken Bow Lady Savage basketball on the Broken Bow Savages YouTube channel.
Life insurance that meets your needs now for when they need it most. With help from your State Farm agent.
Call Jennifer Broaddus, State Farm agent in Broken Bow today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote today.
Welcome back. Yeah, Chris Chandler here with Skip Copeland, live from Muldrow for this regional championship. Talk about Lady Savages lead this one 14-9 after one period of play, but got into some foul trouble. Tyson Woolsey spent much of the time, last half or so, give or take, of the first period on the bench. Got to hand to the Lady Savages, though, as they reacted. That leaves Amelia Price as the only true post player in the game, but Lady Savages did a good job of not allowing feeds inside and holding them to not allowing Price to take advantage of Woolsey being on the bench. And so good defense all around, good team defense by Broken Bow. Actually created a couple of turnovers there, and as a result, they still lead by 5. Again, this is the championship. Both these teams will advance to regional, but it makes a big difference if you win this and you're the champion, or if you're the runner-up. The champion just has to win one to make it to state. And so they are going to play, I believe, Purcell, the Purcell girls, the Consolation B champion in this region, or consolation winner in this region. And then the runner-up will have to go and play the Hera Chickasha winner at 6 p.m. So, or I might have that reverse. Actually, that's reversed. The Purcell game would be Thursday. Here's Rogers outside. Smith for 3. Hits the rim, doesn't fall, and then you see the advantage, and that Price looks like, oh, it comes back to Cawthron, and she draws the foul on Price, who is still on the ground, obstructing her. I think is there an obstruction call, Skip? I think that's actually, she didn't get back up, just laid on the ground, so that's an obstruction call. He's indicating a hack on the arm. It's actually, I think the proper call is actually obstruction. You can't lay on the floor in front of the lane, so without getting, but it doesn't matter. It's the same situation. First free throw is no good. By the way, that's the second foul on Price. First free throw by Cawthron falls to the floor, no good. So, obviously, first team foul by either team of the second period. As you see Skaggs over there talking to the ref there. The second shot also not good. Jaylee Cawthron, an excellent free throw shooter. Just, there might have been a lane violation called on the first one. As here's the second shot, and it's in. Cawthron now has 6 points. Her team has 15. They lead by 6. Press in the backcourt. Cawthron gets Fort Gibson stop their dribble. They get it across to Skaggs. Long pass down low, and then there's an easy bucket underneath. Going back the other way, it's Cawthron. Almost, it actually was stolen. And then Cawthron got another hand on it, and the Lady Savages get it back. Quick hands by Cawthron and Katie Rogers. Get the ball back for Brokebo. Here's Rogers passing it out to the corner. And Cawthron brings it back around, sets up, looking like she may penetrate the lane, then throws it in the corner to Hightower. Across to Smith. Smith, bounce pass, Hightower. Hightower driving, Hightower in the lane. Hightower lays it up and in. Audrey Hightower leading all Savage scorers. She now has 9 points. They have 17. They lead by 6. Presses on in the backcourt once again, and that's going to be good job by Griffin. Double team along with Smith. Ball gets across to Price. Price looking to drive on Hightower. Kicks it out to, and there's a wide open look from three-point land. Does not fall. Rebound Griffin. Good job by Anaya Griffin to go up and get that one. Here comes Cawthron. Shovel pass out to Hightower on the wing. Hightower gets a dribble and doesn't. Just passes it back to Rogers. Rogers now takes it. Pass to Smith. Smith directing her offense. Back to Hightower. Wow, and it's going to be Hightower from 4 feet outside the top of the key. Buries it. That is Hightower's 3rd tray of this game, and she is now in double figures with 12. Lady Savages lead by 9, and there's a collision. A 2-on-2 break. Down low, shot no good. Rebound, Smith. Genesis Smith elevating and getting it. Lady Savages on a little bit of a run, certainly an emotional run, as they look like they are in the swing of things, and this is with Tyson Woolsey on the bench. Here comes Rogers working against Skaggs. Bounce pass outside, 2-point shot, and it's good. Genesis Smith. Lady Savages up in double figures now, up by, wow, and that was a pass stolen, knocked out by either Smith, and it's Rogers for 3, doesn't get it, and it's Hightower with the, sorry, that's actually Cawthron with the rebound. Cawthron with the move, doesn't get the ball to fall, however, though. Rebound, Fort Gibson across to Skaggs. Skaggs to Price. Price shooting from a free throw line, in and out. Rebound, once again, Griffin. That's a 2nd consecutive rebound by Anaya Griffin. Lady Savages up by 11. Still a lot of time left in this 2nd period. There's a long 3-point shot. Not long enough, a little bit, Joe, but rebound and put back by Cawthron goes in. Jalen Cawthron now with 8. Lady Savages, you see the excitement on the faces of the bench as they go and congratulate their teammates. That was an exciting run. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. Brokebo up by 13 points. You're watching Brokebo Lady Savage basketball on the Brokebo Savages YouTube channel. See ya in 10.
To see Choctaw people on screen, I realized I could be a filmmaker if I wanted to.
See and share our stories at togetherwe'remore.com.
Welcome back, man.
They take our best player out.
Yeah, it was exciting. Yeah, we were talking about how that they got Tyson Woolsey with 3 fouls. So very similar to the way that Great Howell collected fouls early in the game yesterday, but they took Tyson out, put her on the bench, and then Lady Savages, even with her on the bench, have just excelled at outside shooting and rebounding. Here's the press once again. This press is causing all kinds of havoc. It gets it to Ragsdale. To Skaggs. Skaggs down low and almost stolen by Griffin, but it's Price with the bounce pass, which was stolen by Cawthron. Cawthron is everywhere on the court. Here comes Hightower working against Skaggs, setting up the offense. To Rogers. Rogers working against Ragsdale. Into Griffin. Back to Rogers. Rogers sees a crease. Rogers driving. Katie Rogers with the leaner. Katie Rogers becomes the 5th Brokebo Lady Savage player to put points on the board. They now lead by 15. Pass inside, and Price, that was a great pass. A good assist, got it into Price. She had the finish and then drew the foul. I believe that's going to be against Griffin. Not sure. Let's see who gets credit. That's the first team foul for the Lady Savages of this 2nd period. Nope. Yeah, it was against Griffin. The scoreboard indicates against Griffin, her first. So that's going to give Price the opportunity for the traditional plus, or 3-point play with the +1, and she makes it. Rogers Working it across, gets it to Hightower, and now there's a little bit of a crease. Wow, that was stolen by Price. Maybe a little errant on the pass, but good fast hands by Price to get the ball back. Bounce pass in, Price, and she uses an elbow. Great job by, you see the emotion of Anaya Griffin taking the charge with the elbow, and she's excited. That's going to be the third one on Price, by the way, so now Woolsey and Price, both of the post players, will have 3. What is, the scoreboard still just shows 1 foul apiece. As, I'm not sure what's going. It looks like Brookbo's going to inbound the ball. I'm not sure what the confusion is. But yeah, all right, so now they've got it straightened out. That was the 3rd foul on Price. So now, as I mentioned, both Tyson Woolsey and Amelia Price, the 2 post players, are out, not out of the game, but out on the bench with 3 fouls each. It's still over 3 minutes to play in the first half. And here's a trap at, great job by Katie Rogers to draw the foul. Timeout, not to draw the foul, but to get the ball across the court. But timeout called before she made that second move. And so timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick one as well. You're watching Pregame Lady Savage basketball on the Pregame Savages YouTube channel. We'll see you in 15.
Call Jennifer Broaddus, State Farm agent in Broken Bow today.
And again, huge thanks to Jennifer Broaddus, State Farm Insurance, along with all our other media partners and our sponsors. Appreciate their support of Broken Bow Savage Athletics. Broken Tiki, by the way, now open. They opened it up this weekend because of this great weather, and so they're offering lake cruises. Look at their social media pages or at the Broken Tiki, www.thebrokentiki.com for information. And there's an errant pass that's going to wind up in the hands of Fort Gibson. Now the press is on as it's across to Ragsdale. Ragsdale took a little bit of a extra step there, travel, and so the ball's going to go back to Broken Bow with 2:59, just under 3 minutes left. You see Patrick Smith, assistant coach, giving instruction to a couple of the players there. As the ball will be inbounded from Rogers to Cawthron. Cawthron working, and now she draws it down. Oh, great pass from Cawthron down, and there's a collision as a body check into Hightower. She goes to the floor, then pops back up. And so that's going to be the 3rd team foul against Fort Gibson. That's the first one, number 14. But that will give Broken Bow the ball to inbound. And long inbound pass, Smith. Smith working around. Smith reverses her field, pulls up, and it's Hightower for 3. Hightower's shot goes off, and it's a couple of hands. The last ones, though, were those of Jalen Cawthron, and so that ball will be inbounded by Fort Gibson. This press. Yeah, just the conditioning of this Pregame Lady Savage team is outstanding to run this press throughout the game. Here's a thought about shooting three-pointer, gets it out back outside now to Skaggs. Bounce pass inside from Skaggs. Turnaround jumper does not fall, goes off the side. Katie Rogers with the rebound. Rogers going to bring it up the floor. 26-14. After leading by 5 at the quarter break, it's going to be Rogers, and there's a 5-second violation. So can't get it. That's the same trap they used last time, and she broke it coming down the side, but it works this time for Fort Gibson. They turn the ball over, so they get the ball back. But as mentioned, Lady Savages now up by 12, so extending that 5-point lead by 7. At one point, we're up by 15. Here's Rogers defensively. As Fort Gibson looking to work it inside from the perimeter. That's Cawthron out defensively. Now Smith. Smith working against Skaggs. Smith. And Skaggs goes back, tries to get past Smith on the, down the side. Unable to do so. Here's a drive inside, and one step too many, and that's, oh man, a foul. You see, Coach Toby B jumping up and down as Jalen Cawthorn went out the basketball, but indicated that she hacked the wrist before then. That's going to be the second one on Cawthorn. Second team foul on the Lady Savages, or actually maybe the first one on Cawthorn. The scoreboard just indicates one, so. But it is the second team foul on Broken Bow. 3 for Fort Gibson. Here's Rogers working defensively for Broken Bow. And now it's to Skaggs. Skaggs back out to Wofford. Wofford working against Hightower. Oh, tries to throw it in, and foul called on, I guess, Smith maybe? I'm not sure. Let's see who the call is. It can't be on Cawthorn. Yes. It is on Smith. So that's Smith's first. That is the third team foul. Stolen. Cawthorn. Cawthorn on the move. Accelerating. Cawthorn draws the foul at the other end. And that'll send Jalen Cawthorn to the free throw line. That's the fourth team foul on the Lady Tigers. And so good recognition by Cawthorn. That there was no time for Fort Gibson to get set in the lane as Cawthorn sinks that one. By the way, that puts Cawthorn, one away from double. She could get in double figures with his next shot. She has 9. Lady Savage is now up by 13. She can make it 14. And she does. Press is still on you, and watch Genesis Smith, and she is on Skaggs like it was in her back pocket. Now draws across. Skaggs working against Griffin. Now back out, long pass into the forecourt. And now back to Skaggs. Bounce pass inside, tie ball. Lady Savage, I can't see the possession arrow, but I think it's going to be in. I think it's going to be in favor of Fort Gibson. That will reverse it though, and there's still 66 seconds left to play in the half. So, quick action by Smith ties up the ball, and then blocked and stolen on the inbound pass. That's the quickness of Jalen Cawthorn. Here comes Smith across the half-court line. Smith bounce pass out to Cawthorn. Cawthorn is yet to dribble. Cawthorn pulls up, shoots off the and a good hustle, but Burris just can't get there in time, so that goes out and will be Fort Gibson basketball. 51.3 seconds left, first half. Broken Bow up by 14, 28-14. There's a good football score for you. Bounce pass, trap on. Burris working defensively against Wofford. Pass across the half-court line. This may be a drive down low, and it's, oh, wow, that was stalled. Hey, hand credit to Burris as she got in there, got a hand on it, interrupted the rhythm of the player from Fort Gibson driving toward the basket, and likely prevented what might have been an easy 2 points. Great hustle by Kylie Burris. Here comes Cawthorn behind the back dribble. Cawthorn now throws it to the corner. Smith down the baseline. Smith looking to pass, kicks it. Oh, wow, a little bit too much heat on that one. Intended for Hightower, but that was traveling at quite a velocity, and so goes out of bounds. 22.7 seconds left in the first half. As see Broken Bow setting up their defense. It's just Cawthorn back there now, as there's only one person in the backcourt. And Cawthorn creates the turnover. Wow. Jaylee Cawthorn is so quick that she can just put a hand in there and just really just alter the rotation of the basketball, but it disturbs that rhythm. And when you're that close to the sideline, as you say that, ball's kicked. That's going to be kicking. By the way, kicking not a foul. It just gives the other team the basketball, and they will inbound it. Looks like Lady Savage is going to take this pause in play to send Rogers in. As Rogers, excellent three-point shooter, and that baby with 9.3 seconds left, you might expect a three-point shot is what Broken Bow will take. See, in fact, you see Rogers over there all alone on the far corner, standing there on the arc. Let's see what happens, and it's going to be dribble across, bounce pass in down low, and a put up. Great job by Griffin. Lay it in. As Griffin comes up a little hobble, but I agree, that was perfectly executed. Great assist. Griffin finished it. And you see Broken Bow Lady Savages going into the tunnel with a 16-point lead. We're going to take a break for halftime, have some words from our sponsors. and then be back with second half action. You're watching Pregame Lady Savage basketball on the Pregame Savages YouTube channel. See ya, let's say 5 minutes.
At McCurtain County National Bank, we are continually seeking ways to meet the changing needs of our customers. We offer a full range of services such as free checking, online and mobile banking, as well as great rates on cabin and construction loans. We're providing results through better service while giving you a greater value for your dollar. Visit us on the web at mcnbonline.com. McCurtain County National Bank in Idabel, Broken Bow, Hochatown, and Valiant.
Life insurance that meets your needs now for when they need it most. With help from your State Farm agent.
Call Jennifer Broaddus, State Farm agent in Broken Bow today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote today.
We all have stories. Stories inspired by culture, competition, creativity. Stories show our humanity. They inspire us to greatness and remind us to be humble. Stories connect us to our communities and the rest of the world. We are the Chutta people, and these are our stories. See and share them at togetherwe'remore.com.
Hey Southeast Oklahoma, have you been to Washburn's in Broken Bow yet? Furniture, appliances, hot tubs, outdoor furniture, pool tables, and more. Lightning fast delivery across McCurtain County. Visit 663 South Park Drive or call 580-441-7025. Washburn's, family owned since 1939.
Experience the charm of downtown Broken Bow and discover a wide variety of newly opened shops, tantalizing dining experiences, and an inviting lounge waiting to be explored. Whether you're shopping for unique finds, getting in a quick workout or sauna, or soaking in the lively atmosphere with some ice cream, our downtown area has everything you crave, completely revitalized. Embrace the excitement and let the heart of the community sweep you off your feet. Visit us today and ignite your senses in downtown Broken Bow. Call Jennifer Broaddus, State Farm agent in Broken Bow today.
We all have stories. Stories show our humanity. We are the Chutta people, and these are our stories. See and share them at togetherwe'remore.com.
At McCurtain County National Bank, we are continually seeking ways to meet the changing needs of our customers. We offer a full range of services such as free checking, online and mobile banking, as well as great rates on cabin and construction loans. We're providing results through better service while giving you a greater value for your dollar. Visit us on the web at mcnbonline.com. McCurtain County National Bank in Idabel, Broken Bow, Hochatown, and Valiant.
Tired of waiting weeks for furniture? At Washburn's, there's no wait. Everything's in stock and ready to go. We deliver fast, usually within 48 hours across West Arkansas and East Oklahoma. Shop the brands America loves: Lazy Boy, Bassett, Flex Steel, Ashley, just to name a few. With 95% financing approvals, getting the furniture you want has never been easier. Visit Mina, D-Queen, Toto, or Broken Bow, or shop anytime at washburns.com.
We all have stories. Stories inspired by culture, competition, creativity. Stories show our humanity. We are the Chutta people, and these are our stories. See and share them at togetherwe'remore.com.
Welcome back. Well, about a minute and 27 before the tip-off of this second half. Chris Chandler here along with Skip Copeland, live from Muldrow, the regional championship for our area. And both of these teams will be going on, as I mentioned, to the area. But it's a different path depending on if you win or lose this game. The winner of this game will play the winner of the Chickasha game on Friday at Seminole at 6 p.m. And they have a game after that for the one that does not win that bet. But the winner of this game will be one win away from going to the state tournament. And you have to win one of two. The runner-up, the team that loses this game, will be playing Purcell at Thursday at 1 p.m. at Seminole, but you have to win 3 in a row. So you have to win 3 games in that consolation bracket to go to the state tournament. So it does make a difference. Lady Savages with a big advantage right now, 16 points. And a great first half. 15 of the 30 points put up by Audrey Hightower. 4 trays in that first half. Just an amazing first half, shooting outside the perimeter for Hightower. Lady Savages will be back on defense to start off. Keep in mind that run, too, by Broken Bow at the end there. It was a 5-point game at the quarter break, and then Broken Bow, with Woolsey on the bench, had an amazing scoring led by Hightower, and she has 15 thus far. Only Broken Bow, I think I accidentally credited Cawthorne with one of the trays that was hit by Hightower, so Cawthorne was 7. But Lady Savages doing very well. Woolsey with 2, Rogers with 2, Genesis Smith with 2, and Anaya Griffin with the 2 right there at the end. And so Lady Savages up, looking to add to that here. Lady Tigers looking to take away from it. That ball was got a hand on it, but that's Price back in the game. She's playing with 3 fouls as well. She had 7 in the first, added another 2 here. Here's Rogers, pass down Rogers to Griffin. Griffin up and in. Anaya Griffin starts the second half the way she ended the first, with a nice pass received under the bucket and a lay-in. Back to a 16-point game. Here's a cut. Price outside. They move it around to Moore. Inside to Price. Price up and under. Price, 2 straight buckets. And then there's a stoppage of play. Not sure what the call is. Maybe a caution on I think it's a caution on the Broken Bow bench. So anyway, no foul or anything, just a caution. Here comes Rogers. Rogers across the timeline. Rogers still going. Katie Rogers passes it down. Double pass. Whoa, beautiful ball movement as it was Rogers to Hightower. And then down, or to Griffin, and then down to Hightower. Hightower put it up and in. There's a bounce pass going the other way, Moore into Price. Price turn around, laying in, and hangs and then falls. Price has had 3 straight 2-point buckets from the paint. Again, now Woolsey on the bench. Price playing with 3, and great job chasing the ball by Genesis Smith as the timeout gets called by the Broken Bow coaching staff as she was trapped in the corner. We're going to leave it right here, talk things over about this and about the situation. So, again, it was 14-9 lead for Broken Bow at the quarter break, and then 30-14 at the half. Lady Savages still up by 16, have managed to answer. But thus far, one of the stories is Amelia Price back in the game for Fort Gibson, and without Woolsey, without a true center for Broken Bow in there to try to stop her, has managed to make 3 straight buckets on as many possessions for Fort Gibson. Lady Savages, on the other hand, are not doing a good job defensively, other than once the ball gets down into the paint, as they are in the press and trying to create turnovers. Then offensively, have managed to answer every one of those, still lead by 16. Here comes Cawthorne. Outside to Smith. Smith wide open for 3. Genesis Smith for 3. Smith with a tray. Broken Bow up by 17. Pressure in the backcourt. Skaggs to Wofford, across to Moore, and then that was good passing. And then it's down to Price. Price wraps around to Moore, and then it's Moore with the score. Give Moore a bucket, give Price an assist. 15-point game. Here's a drive by Cawthorne. Cawthorne trying to weave and then takes a head. Oh, she took a knee to the head Jalen Cawthorn, a tough player, but you could see her grabbing her face like really took a shot to the nose. And one of the things that does is it waters your eyes, makes it harder to see. Foul will be the first one on Moore. Inbound, Hightower. Hightower with the hot shooting hand in the first half. As we mentioned, 4 trays. Here's a bounce pass down and a nice layup, or lay-in. Doesn't fall, though. And his rebound. And there's Cawthorn with the steal. Gets an arm out, shoots it. Doesn't get it to fall, however. Rebound Price. Going back the other way to Wofford. Wofford working against Cawthorn. Cawthorn reaches in, tries to knock the ball loose. Then Wofford stops. It's to Price. Price wraparound, wide open look for Moore. And doesn't fall, but it's another rebound inside. Kicks it back out. And it's going to be second chance opportunity, and that one goes through. That was number 2. That Moore's number 5. That was 2. Not sure who. I don't have her on the roster, but that was a good shot. Makes it a 14-point game. Lady Savages get it across the timeline. Now it's going to be swarmed to. Tie ball. Possession arrow will be in favor of Broken Bow, but that will reverse it. So it'll be inbound by the Lady Savages. Now Woolsey's going to come back in. Nia Griffin comes out, and Nia Griffin did a great job in there. Last part of the last half, first part of this half, though. Gets congratulated by her teammates. Woolsey need Woolsey in there, though. You've got Price playing with 3 fouls, and she is dominating the boards and getting easy post plays. And so Woolsey sit back in to try to put a stop to that. Here's Rogers out to the side. Corner shot on the way. High rebound, and that's Katie Rogers got to it, but it got kind of pawed loose by Price. One-touch pass going the other way. 3-on-2. Well, it was until Broken Bow got back. Man, they're quick getting back on defense. Down low. And post-up play is going to be good by Moore. Moore with a two-point bucket. Her second of this half. She also had 2 in the first. Here comes Cawthorn as Cawthorn gets it across over the shoulder catch by Rogers. Rogers gets the ball knocked loose. And now it's going to be going back the other way. Drive by Wofford, kicks it outside. 3-point shot on the way. It's going to be long, and that's going to be right in the hands of Price, though. She goes up and under and in. Price now with 15 points, 8 in the first 4 minutes of this period. Back to a 7-point game. Single-digit lead for Broken Bow. Shovel pass out to Hightower, down to Smith. Smith from the corner. Genesis Smith! Back to a 10-point lead off the Smith tray. Timeout on the floor. That was some action. Jeez. Lady Savages and Lady Tigers both getting congratulated by their fans. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Broken Bow Lady Savage basketball on the Broken Bow Savages YouTube channel. See you in 15.
Call Jennifer Broaddus, State Farm agent in Broken Bow today.
Welcome back. We've talked about this probably ad nauseum, but there are no easy opponents at this level once you get into the regional, especially regional championship. And both these teams fighting out, it's up to the players to perform on the court. And hand it to Genesis Smith. She had 2 points, one 2-point field goal in the first half. Thus far, she has 2 3-point field goals in the last minute and a half. Great performance by Genesis Smith. And as a result, Broken Bow is back up by 11. 40-29 is your score. Again, there is no substitute for shooting accuracy in basketball. Long pass as they get it into the forecourt. It's going to be Wofford out to Skaggs, into Price. Price is swarmed, and that's going to be that's going to be a foul called, I believe, on Cawthorn. That'll be her third, I think. It's going to be the first team foul by Broken Bow of this third period. Nope, sorry, it's not on. Well, no, they changed it. It is the second foul on Cawthorn. Sorry. And so on the inbound pass, caught in the corner. Get it to Price. Price trying to move on Woolsey, kicks it back outside. Now it's a wraparound, and that's going to be a travel call, I think. Yeah. Nope. So Lady Savage is going to get the Ball back as Cawthron to Hightower. Knocked into the camera bay. Tipped right up here by us. And tossed back in by one of the Fort Gibson fans. By the way, a bags of the Batiste bags. So familiar with Broken Bow and McCurtain County basketball. Here's a drive down low, and the ball goes to the floor. That's going to be a tie ball. I believe it's going to be Broken Bow with possession there now, I think, or is it? Nope, that's right. So the ball gets tied up successfully by Fort Gibson. They will inbound. Press still on in the backcourt. As they're going to try to come up the sides. And trap winds up in the hands of Wofford, the basketball, that is. And now it's going to be, oh, wow, Price throwing an elbow in. Tyson contesting that. Tyson Woolsey went up and changed the arc on that shot. And so Broken Bow gets the rebound. And now it's going to be a pushing foul called on, I believe, Skaggs as Genesis Smith goes to the floor. That's going to be the first team foul, I think, or no, second team foul on Fort Gibson. The first one, and that's actually on Wofford. The first one on Wofford. And so, still 2:52 left to play, though, so could affect things later. Long pass to Smith. Smith now dribbling bounce pass from Smith to Woolsey. Woolsey goes down, up and under, can't get it to fall. Great rebound down low, offensive board. Now it's Woolsey. Now it's a third time the Broken Bow. Not a charm, though. And there's a fast break opportunity. And that's going to be a charging call. And it's once again, great job by Hightower to get down, get set, and take the charge. Wow. That's going to be the third team foul against the Lady Tigers. Their crowd doesn't like it. But I tell you, you saw Aubrey Hightower is, I told you, this team came out of the locker room and they were jazzed. They were ready to play. A lot of emotion. They certainly aren't flat emotionally. Long pass, though, deflected and controlled by Wofford. But they are certainly enjoying this competition. Here's an outside move, and then it's down the baseline, back to the top, and loses control of the basketball. Might have been last touched by Broken Bow, so will be inbounded by Fort Gibbs. Actually a foul called, I believe. That's going to be on Katie Rogers. That's her third, if so. Nope, sorry, it's on Hightower. 24, not 23, so it's her first. Hightower having a great game. Already with 15 points in the first half. Price working against Woolsey. Loses the handle of the basketball, and now it's tied up. So, well, I thought it was tied up. There's a foul called prior to that. That's on Woolsey. That's her first. Her fourth. And it is. So Woolsey's going to come back out. So that is the third team foul on Broken Bow. Each team has 3 team fouls, 1:58 left. Here's an inbound pass. Athletic move from Skaggs, bounce pass, Price. Price throws it outside to Moore. Moore's three's on the way, short, fight for it. Here's another three-pointer. That's going to be a little bit off the mark. Rebound, Cawthron. And she'll push it up the floor. Here comes Cawthron. And there's a collision. As you see Cawthron saying, hey, she grabbed my arm. She spun around, but she grabbed my arm, and that's to no avail. That's going to be the third foul on Cawthron. So, that is the fourth team foul on the Lady Savages. So they no longer have a margin regarding team fouls, at least for the next minute 33. Here's Price going in, and that gets Anaya Griffin gets called for the foul. That's going to be the fifth one, and so that will send Price to the free throw line. Savage crowd doesn't like that. Savage coaching staff doesn't like that. And I don't think Hightower's been trying to indicate she was throwing that Price was throwing elbows, but she is at the free throw line. She seeks the free throw. That's her 9th point of the second half to go with the 7 in the first half. She's the leading scorer now, well, has been for the Lady Tigers. She has 16. She has a chance to make it a single-digit lead for Broken Bow, and she does. Bounce pass. Cawthron working the ball, and Cawthron just blows past 2 defenders. Cawthron on the move, and called for carrying the ball. You see Toby Bean throwing his hand to the side like, come on, man. Okay. 9-point game, 1:25 left, third period. Lady Savages with the lead. Lady Tigers on a run. Bounce pass in the backcourt as Burris and Cawthron swarm. Long pass, almost stolen. Cawthron somehow managed to reappear on the other end of the court a second after making a defensive play at this end. Ball goes out to Ragsdale, and then back into Price, and there's going to be a charge on Price as she does throw the elbow this time into Griffin. Good job of Griffin taking the charge. That is going to be the 4th foul, by the way, on Price. And so now both post players for the respective teams with 4 fouls. Price will come out. And again, Anderson Griffin getting position and taking that charge. Also gets the ball back for Broken Bow, just over a minute, as it's going to be a reaching foul called. I believe that one's going to be on Skaggs. Hey, Skaggs, I think that's Skaggs' first foul, but that is the 15th foul. And so that both teams now in the bonus, and that's going to put Jalen Cawthron on the free throw line. That is the first foul on Skaggs. By the way, Skaggs just a freshman, I think. Tremendous basketball player. So and you see Burris come out and Hightower go in. Burris getting congratulated by the bench. Well, and the crowd is yelling at like want to delay, but this is, as they go to Toby Bean. So here's the situation. They're saying it's delaying the game, well, not on this call, but they're telling him you're taking too much time. But the Broken Bow bench is about 25 feet from the scorer's table, and the Fort Gibson bench is right next to it. So the Broken Bow players have to go down across the tunnel to get to the scorer's table to substitute, which is a huge advantage. I mean, the way this is set up, that may be the only way they set it up. You can't penalize a team for that, or you shouldn't penalize a team for that. As anyway, so a T called on, I think, on Toby Bean or on the Broken Bow bench. They'll clarify that later. By the way, Cawthron makes both of her free throws. And now Skaggs going to shoot a couple for Fort Gibson off the tee. And the first one falls to the floor. Maybe that's, I don't know, Karma.
That's Karma.
I seriously, and misses both of them. Karma strikes again, but that tee if it's for delay against the Broken Bow bench, it's like, look, man, use some common sense. They've got to go 24 feet further than, and by the way, across about 2 security guards and 2 coaches at midcourt to get to the scorer's table. So not sure what's going on here. Anyway, it remains an 11-point lead for Broken Bow with 1 minute left in the third period. And official explaining something. And if you can see, as Tyson Woolsey goes from the Broken Bow bench, you see where the scorer's table is over there on the other side of the tunnel. And so Woolsey had to go down to the other end. And you can see as the Fort Gibson players call it, you see the proximity of their bench to the scorer's table. Anyway, well, it's going to be Fort Gibson basketball. They inbound. Long pass to, I believe, Moore. Cross-court pass to Wofford. Wofford off balance, but managed to keep her feet to Skaggs, to Moore. Baseline, well, sort of a baseline move. Rebound uncontested for Cawthron, and now she's coming back this way. Cawthron with moves. Cawthron on the move. Shovel pass from Cawthron. Nice save on the other side by Smith from Griffin to Rogers. Oh, just over. And it's going to be a rebound. Look at the speed of Katie Rogers getting back down defensively. And look at Jalen Cawthron as well. What a great defensive move on what would have been an easy fast break to get back down there. Great hustle by Broken Bow. They now control the basketball with 17 seconds left in this period. Katie Rogers gets trapped and then gets the ball to Burris, and then that's Griffin. Griffin pops up. Griffin shoots. High rebound. Wow, somehow Smith came back up with it. Genesis Smith for 2. Smith now in double figures with 10. Lady Savages up by 13. A fantastic performance after having the lead cut to 7. Great finish of that third period by the Broken Bow Lady Savages. We're going to take a quick break and be back with the final 8 minutes of this basketball game. You're watching Broken Bow Lady Savage basketball on the Broken Bow Savages YouTube channel.
To see Choctaw people on screen, I realized I could be a filmmaker if I wanted to.
See and share our stories at togetherwe'remore.com.
Welcome back. Well, you see the scoreboard there at the bottom of the screen. By the way, those are the sponsors and media partners for these live streams you see at the bottom of the screen. Lady Savages with a 13-point lead going into the final 8 minutes. But well, there's a lot of dynamics, and I'm not talking just the ball spinning up and down the court. As story is, both of the post players for each of these teams, Tyson Woolsey for Broken Bow, Amelia Price for Fort Gibson, are playing with 4 fouls. So really, the paint game is a day, and again, you may have to put them in or not, depending. But one more by each of them cannot foul the other one or anybody else, or they're out of the basketball game. Lady Savages led by 5 at the first quarter break, led by 30 to 14, by 16 at the half, and lead by 13 now. Lot of players for Broken Bow have seen time on the floor. Burris currently in there, as well as Griffin. And there's a discussion with one of the other officials as, again, I'm not sure. Maybe have something to do with the scorebook. I'm not sure. Broken Bow will inbound the ball as Katie Rogers will do the honors. So Lady Savages starting with a 13-point cushion. And you expect Fort Gibson to come after them and come after the basketball. And here is Smith as she picks the ball up, and she's fouled. That's going to be a pushing foul. Smith jerking the ball away, but she got pushed, and so that's going to be a quick foul, first one of the period. By the way, that is not necessarily a bad thing from Fort Gibson's perspective, because with a lead like this, again, you might want to be able to foul them and force Broken. If Broken Bow continues to answer score for score, then they're going to have to try to force Broken Bow to go to the free throw line and stop the clock. And it's another 3 by Genesis Smith. That is her. What an amazing game she's having. That's her third tray. Hightower has 4. Here's a hand down low, and now it's going to be a kind of an open shot from the top of the key. Far bounce. Great rebound, though, and it's Cawthron. Cawthron's going to push it up the floor. Cawthron taking advantage of the defense. Over the little too fast, and Cawthron went to the ground. Got quickly back up. Here's a trap, as you see Cawthron already back in the game, and now it's down low. Bounce pass under the bucket, and a lay-in by Skaggs, the freshman. That's her first bucket of the game. There's a pass to Cawthron. Cawthron back to Hightower. Hightower to Rogers. Rogers top of the key, and then gets called for the travel. I guess for the hesitation when she started to move, but it didn't look like she took a step before the ball hit the floor. She didn't put the foot. I mean, she just pivoted. You can do that. So anyway, ball's going to be inbounded by Fort Gibson. Skaggs gets it stolen. Cawthron on the move. Jalen Cawthron for another 2. Cawthron now in double figures with 11. And knocked down by Burris. Tip to Cawthron. Cawthron, great rebound, her own rebound, and she puts it back up. Cawthron on fire. We're going to stay right here. Look at the emotion on these young ladies' faces. And here's the thing. This can backfire. So when you get a game, and again, I'm not saying anything about the officiating other than that last travel call, but when you, when a team perceives that they're being unfairly ruled out or unfairly, it can have the reverse effect. I think it had a dampening effect right at the first against the Pregame boys team last night. But it can have the reverse effect. They can get angry, for lack of a better word. They can get aggressive. It can add focus to a team, and you see the emotion with which this Pregame Lady Savages team is playing. Again, it makes it like the world's against you, you know. We've got to try to overcome all this stuff, but it somehow unifies you and sometimes makes you play harder and makes you play even smarter. It focuses your concentration. I think that's what it's done. This is a great game. And you consider that it is with Woolsey on the bench for much of the game and Cawthron, again, just getting into double figures. It is the rest of the team that has played an excellent basketball game tonight. I mean, Audrey Hightower, Katie Rogers, Genesis Smith, Hightower and Smith having a great games. And here's another call by the officiating crew. Not sure what that's about. It's a technical foul against who? I don't see who the indication is on the scoreboard. And again, Karma strikes us. So, thus far, Fort Gibson is 0 for 3 on technical foul shooting. I expect this one to go in, though. She's an excellent three. I was going to say Price is an excellent free throw shooter. But Woolsey coming back in the game. So now it's a 17-point game. Lady Savages up 51-34. And so kind of getting to be desperation time for Fort Gibson. Again, and so just take it away. Great play. It's going to be Cawthron with the lay-in. Jalen Cawthron with a steal and a score. 19-point game. Lady Savages laser focused. Here comes, good move by Hightower. Moving laterally, not giving up a crease. Perimeter defense by Pregame. Cawthron reaches in for the basketball. Now kind of has them a little bit gun shy. And Cawthron behind Price. Great job of Woolsey getting vertical without fouling. Rebound Cawthron. Cawthron forcing it across. Cawthron with the pass out to Rogers. Rogers in to Woolsey. Woolsey up and off the glass and in. Beautiful pass. Cawthron to Rogers to Woolsey. Woolsey with the finish. Woolsey's first bucket of the second half. Pass into Price. Price outside. Three-point shot on the way. That's going to be another rebound. That's Cawthron. Long pass from Cawthron. And that's going to be a travel call against Smith. 5:16 left to play. 22 or 21-point ball game. And so, see Pregame and Katie Rogers comes off to take a well-deserved rest. Great game for the senior. Now it's going to be the freshman, Skaggs, working against Smith. Into Price. Price backs up, shoots, and scores. Price gets it within 20. Here's Smith across to Hightower. Hightower down and feed inside Woolsey. Woolsey goes up, lays it up and in. Tyson Woolsey another. Again, same as last time. It was 2 passes to Woolsey, and Woolsey did the rest from underneath the net. Beautifully executed, back up by a 21-point margin. Here comes a reverse. That was almost stolen by Cawthron, and then he gets called with a foul. That's Cawthron's third, I believe. And so it'll be the first team foul against the Lady Savages of this period. Hey, well, they still haven't put it up on the scoreboard, but okay, maybe not. Stolen off the inbound. Cawthron. Cawthron to Smith. Smith he kicks it out to Burris, who kicks it out to Hightower. Hightower shot, rebound. Back to Hightower. Second time for Hightower's a charm. Audrey Hightower, her 4th tray. She's at 18 points, leading all scorers. Lay in by Price. Now Price leads all scorers. That's her. I haven't got that as her 19th. No, I think that's actually her 20th. Here's a pass to Cawthorn, and Cawthorn gets fouled. That's going to be the. I think that may just be the second one on Wofford, but that is going to be. Well, it's also going to be the second team foul against Fort Gibson. If second on Wofford, second on the Lady Tigers, and so Lady Tigers. Moore and Wofford will come out as Ragsdale and I believe the other Moore come in. Cawthorn and Lady Savages in a little bit of a delay game. Good job. They can really handle the basketball. As it's a pass down to Woolsey. Woolsey up and doesn't make it. Woolsey gets her own rebound, goes up and doesn't get it again. Rebound by Ragsdale. They quickly get it out down in the corner. Bounce pass, Price working against Woolsey. Price up and under, Woolsey with the rebound. And that might have been over the back, or a little off balance, but I think Skaggs got into the back of Woolsey. There's, oh wow, spin move, Hightower. Pass out to Burris, back out to Cawthorn. And Cawthorn will dribble some time off the clock. 22-point lead by, getting a little ahead of myself, by Broken Bow, but they look like they will be the regional champions as they can bleed some time off the clock. And here comes Cawthorn up and under, doesn't get it to fall. Rebound Price going to send it back the other way. Skaggs to Price for three, and that's a good looking shot, doesn't fall though. Tie ball. Possession arrow, I believe, in favor of Fort Gibson. Let's see. Yeah, I see it. I see it at the scoring table now. So, and look like Katie Rogers is going to come back in, and Burris is going to come out. Again, Rogers and Hightower are the only two seniors on this basketball team, both starters. And wow, that was a nice high use of the glass by Price. She had to use a high trajectory. Worked for her, though. Pass down to Rogers. Rogers driving. Rogers picks up her dribble, kicks it back out. And back to Rogers. Playing keep away now to Cawthorn. To Rogers. And Rogers now dribbling to Hightower. Hightower to Cawthorn. Cawthorn leaps to get the basketball, and then that's going to be a foul. If that's on Price, that's her fifth. I think it's either on Price or Ragsdale. Let's see if it's 1-3 or if it's. It is on. Wow, that is Ragsdale's first foul. That's pretty impressive. That's the third team foul on the Lady Tigers. And it's going to be lob pass to Rogers. Rogers is yet to dribble, now picks up her dribble, bounce pass along the side, and that's going to be grabbing the hair. That's going to be against Skaggs, and that's going to be the 14th foul against Fort Gibson. He's indicating contact to the side of the face. A face palm, if you will. And so that's going to be the third foul on Skaggs. And I said the 14th foul, and Price is going to get congratulated by the coaching staff and the fans, and she's going to go take it probably for the remainder of the game. And Lady Savages well on their way to a regional championship. Inside to Woolsey, back outside to Rogers, back out to Cawthorn, and then gets called. she gets called for the travel. You see, got called for the travel, and she looks down at her foot and her toe. Her heel was up, but her toe was on the ground. But kind of academic at this point. Lady Savages up by 20 with 1:26 left. Long throw, wow, three-pointer in and out. Cawthorn with the rebound. Cawthorn pushing it up the floor. Jalen Cawthorn with a scoop and score. 62-40. Final minute of this ball game. Lady Savages on their way to a regional championship and one win away from a berth in the state tournament. Working inside to Ragsdale. Ragsdale working against Hightower, picks up her dribble, kicks it back outside, and Ragsdale, if you're in the, you should just shoot the ball. I mean, you know, you get a chance. Again, not their final game. Fort Gibson will go as the runner-up in the region. They will go and play on Thursday against Purcell, but they have to win 3 in a row to get to the state tournament. Lady Savages 1 win away as Jalen Cawthorn's still playing and gets, she got called for the, not Jalen, but got called for the double dribble. Lady Savages going to dribble out this 12.1 seconds, accept the regional champion trophy. And they are on their way to play the winner of the Hara-Chickasha game Friday at Seminole at 6 p.m. If they win that one, they're in the state tournament. If they lose that one, they just have to win the next one. And you see the excitement on Aubrey Hightower as she is jumping up and down and well-deserved. Hightower had a fantastic game, 18 points including 4 trays. Just a tremendous performance by the Lady Savages at a point where they needed, again, a lot of things going against them tonight, but managed to overcome them and secure the victory. Led 14-9 at the quarter break, 30-14 at halftime time, 44-31 at the end of the third quarter, and win it going away, 62-40. Well, we're going to stay here, watch them get presented the plaque. I'm going to turn it over to the public PA announcer. And there's your 2 seniors, Aubrey Hightower and Katie Rogers, accepting it on behalf of the team. And they're facing the home crowd, I mean, facing the visiting crowd, which is their crowd, the Broken Bow crowd, but trying to get them to turn around this way for a photo. Anyway, they will play at 6 p.m. at Seminole, Oklahoma, in the area tournament. If they win that game, they're on to state. If they lose it, they will play again, I believe, on Saturday. They just have to win one of the next 2 games in order to get into the state tournament. Well, listen, and again, I don't know if we'll be bringing you that game, that area game at 6 p.m. on Friday on this network or not. Keep watching for the post on the Broken Bow Public Schools social media pages and on this channel. But whether we're going to live stream or not, we will definitely be there. Congratulations to the Broken Bow Lady Savages. They are regional champs. It has been a fantastic game, and they have a dominant victory tonight. So, again, I don't know. If we don't see you next Friday, it has been a pleasure bringing these games. Thanks to all of our sponsors. We got to know if it's going to be Hara or Chickasha. No idea, but we'll be either back then or we'll be back on social media pages. For Skip Copeland, I'm Chris Chandler. Good night, and it's a great night to be a Savage.